This is music, and this is a handful of first impressions. Welcome to another First Impressions video. In these videos, I share with you my first impressions of the many blind buys I've picked up over the last couple of years. Having done a bunch of VCLT follow-up style first impressions, it's time for the real first impressions. It's time to go through a handful of blind buys that I have picked up. So, starting out, we have this one here. Annihilation Mancer, and it's called the Involution Philosophy. A bit of a strange band name. I don't really like the band name here, but I like the music. We're dealing with thrash metal, progressive thrash metal. I would say not overly technical, but certainly progressive. And you have lots of I think it's a fretless bass. You certainly have some kind of death style or cynic style like bass work going on. Musically, thrash metal, maybe slightly in the vein of Realm, Watchtower, all that good stuff. Target, but not as technical as those bands. There's also a bit of a Megadeth vibe every now and then. And this is a great album. I was really surprised at how great this was. Progressive, thrash metal, fantastic bass work. There's almost some death worship and some Schuldiner worship going on too, and I don't have a problem with that. So, silly band name aside, the Involution Philosophy by Annihilation Mancer. Great stuff. Check it out if you like your progressive and technical thrash metal. Okay, up next, I guess it's kind of a blind buy, although I've heard another iteration of this album before. So this is Cavalera, Morbid Visions. So it's Max and Igor Cavalera's re-recording of the old Sepultura album, Morbid Visions. And to be honest, I don't think the original recording sounded as terrible as people say it does. Obviously, it's much tighter, much better here. They're much more obviously experienced musicians now than they were back then, and that can obviously, be heard. So, was it necessary to re-record Morbid Visions? I don't think so. Maybe it was to the Cavalera brothers. Maybe they had, it gave some closure or something. But I don't have a problem with it being re-recorded. I actually quite enjoy listening to this. I think it's great. Sounds fantastic. And I like that they haven't gone for a super modern, clinical sounding production. They have actually tried to give it a bit of an 80s feel, which I appreciate. Max Cavalera sounds fantastic. The drumming is great. The guitar, everything is great. I really like these versions of the Morbid Visions songs. Great stuff. And to me, I don't know if this is a hot take or if it's controversial, but to me, this is Sepultura. I feel like I'm listening to Sepultura because to me, Sepultura, that's the Cavalera brothers. Nothing against Derek Green or Paulo Jr. or the drummer. Nothing against them. To me, this is just Sepultura. And I lost interest in Sepultura after Max Cavalera left. But it's great to hear this, I think. Because, like I said, to me, it's like listening to Sepultura for the first time in a long time. I did see Sepultura live with the Derek Green lineup, and it was awful. Nothing wrong with the performance, but the guitar was just louder than everything else. So it was bad, to be perfectly honest. Anyways, You also have this one here, Cavalera, Beardstial Devastation. Same story, re-recordings by the Cavalera brothers. It's like listening to Sepultura. Great cover versions. Maybe re-recordings, whatever. Maybe not necessary to re-record it, but I think it's cool that they did it. The production is the same as on Morbid Visions. So there you go. These re-recordings by the Cavalera brothers, I think they're great. I think an old school Sepultura fan will probably enjoy listening to these a lot. Like I said, to me, it's like listening to Sepultura again. Okay, up next, this one made its way into this handful of first impressions. Consecration, also known as the Sexy Beard Squad Ephemerality, a reissue of an older release of theirs. Death Doom, heavy stuff, riffy stuff, but you do have some surprisingly up-tempo parts as well. And I also think that some of the songs are kind of sludgy. There's a little bit of sludge doom every now and then. I don't know if they would agree with me on this, but that's what it sounds like to me. You have some great slow, heavy, doomy stuff for sure. The vocals are great, like they're like guttural, death metal style vocals. Musically, like I said, there's a bit of sludge. There's a bit of just like doomy stuff. There's some death metal riffy stuff as well. Some up-tempo parts. Most of it is mid-tempo and heavy. Great stuff. If you like your death doom, I think you should check this one out for sure. Take advantage of the fact that it's been re-released here. Listen to it. It has been scientifically proven that listening to death doom will make you grow a beard. So there you go. And up last we have Dawnbringer Nucleus. This is great stuff. It's hard to pigeonhole this, but I would say that at the core it's heavy metal, but then you have lots of doom metal elements. You even have some black metal elements, even some like all-out black metal blasting in some of the songs. You have some very melodic stuff going on, some, harkening a little bit back to the new wave of British heavy metal. There is, I would say, there's a bit of sludge as well, more like sludge rock on here. Some alternative rock, alternative metal elements. So it's a good blend of things, and it works extremely well. This is a great album to me. But I would say at the core, it is some kind of heavy metal meets doom metal with elements from other genres of metal. And this cover artwork kind of captures the music very well. So this is great stuff. It's a bit hard to describe. You have to check it out, I think, and see what you think. But there you go. So some good stuff there for sure. Again, if you are an old school Sepultura fan and you don't have a problem with the Beardstial Devastation and Morbid Visions being re-recorded by the Cavalera brothers, do check them out. Like I said, to me, it was great because it was basically listening to Sepultura, the real Sepultura for the first time in a long time. So there you go. Thanks for watching.